Hello, guys. Ask me anything. If you have a situation you need some advice on the female gaze, understanding women, tough situation you're in, just ask away. I'll give you my advice for free right now. Um, let's see. Himonk, Himonk, Monker. Thank you for your question. He says, quick question. Never been in a relationship before. Met a girl who wants to be intimate with the expectation of being my girlfriend. Can I just be intimate and bail on her? I mean, that would not be a good idea, in my opinion. Not at all, okay? Could you do it? I mean, I can't stop you, right? But there's a much easier way, okay? You can just talk openly with her, okay? Here's what you do. You just say, "Oh my god, like you are like my dream girl. You're gorgeous, you're sexy. There's nothing I'd like more than to have sex with you, to F you, okay? To fuck you, to be intimate with you, whatever language she's comfortable with, right? But I have to let you know and just like be upfront with you. I'm not in a place in my life right now where I can be in a relationship." And you can give any number of excuses like, I'm just like really busy right now. I've got a lot going on with like my family situation. I mean, whatever's honest for you. Like, I just, you know, just really don't want to be in a relationship right now. And then, yes, you have to accept that it's up to her to either be like, you know what? I appreciate that, and that's okay. Or, no, I am not really able to have sex out of a committed thing. Like some women are like that, and you need to respect that. Okay. But definitely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the best thing to do is just give her that same spiel that every other Chad out there gives every other girl out there. So you will be doing what Chad does, you will be doing the standard thing, and you will be being honest relatively at the same time. Okay. So that is the answer to your question. Don't lie and don't ghost and don't bail. You don't need to. And in a way, it's just keeping you stuck in kind of like a beta mindset, if you will, because, it just looks weak. You don't have anything to apologize for if you're just kind of like, honestly, you not looking for a relationship. So many guys say that, okay? I guarantee you, 99.999% of guys that girls want to have sex with say that. So, what do you think of my answer? And will you be lying or will you be telling the truth? Let's hear it. So, D says, "My partner has family obligations and I won't see her as often as I want. How do you breathe and be patient?" Oh gosh, that is hard, D. So, you guys are like in a relationship, but she just kind of like, yeah. I mean, do you guys talk a lot? Do you communicate? Can you call every day? Do you text throughout the day, or is she kind of like distant and avoidant? Let me know. Or is it just like sexually? You like can't wait. Just give me a little more details on that. Hey, Fama. Hello. Hello, Francis. You need help? Let me know what's going on with you, and I will try to help you. Hello, Commando Master. Himan says, "I am an Indian, so it kind of is unique for us to be intimate before marriage. I just don't want to be the last one left out, that's all. I am desperate. Was obese all my life and now I am muscular and 28 now." Yeah, so I understand that, in Indian culture, I guess it's a little bit different, so this, yeah, I mean, there might be more pressure to just bail and be dishonest. I can understand that. I still wouldn't do it. Okay. Um, I mean, are there Indian guys who have friends with benefits, or is that just like not done at all? Like, do any Indian women have friends with benefits rather? I kind of feel like they must, right? But maybe I'm wrong. Let me know, educate me. So Commando Master says, why do girls ghost when you ask which day are you free, even after she agrees to go out with you? Well, it's not really the best thing to say. Because you're kind of putting the ball too much in their court. Like girls prefer when you suggest something. Like, how about Friday, 7 p.m., this bar or whatever. That's better to them because asking them which day are you free is kind of like, oh God, now I have to coordinate and schedule. And he's not understanding that I want him to take this kind of like dominant masculine role where he kind of just offers me the plan and I accept. So it's kind of irritating and frustrating, but yeah, you should kind of offer a plan, like, like you can say, do you like Italian food? And then she's like, yeah, I love it. And then you just say something like, how about Friday night, this place, it has amazing food. I think you'll love it. Does 7 p.m. work? Or you could just say 7 p.m. And then she's like, oh no, I can't, or whatever. And then you're like, how about Saturday? How about Sunday? And then hopefully she'll offer like, oh, I could do Monday, or she'll just accept. Okay. So, yeah, there's a good chance of her ghosting if you just put the ball in her court too much. Court too much. Like, you want to just kind of present it like an experience. Do you accept or not? Kind of thing. And you can follow up if she says, oh, I can't. But that's kind of what women are expecting, and that's the way they're going to see you, as masculine and understanding dating etiquette. So that is good advice for you, Commando. So Douglas says, I don't really understand how someone can enjoy smut and all the emotional arousal and still enjoy the sex together without fantasizing about the book characters. But somehow it works for women. Great question, Douglas. So, it's a really good question. But what you have to understand, I think, and this is kind of my first thought about this, is like, smut. Okay. Romantasy. The characters in the book, okay, they're very dominant, they're very challenging, they're very tough, they're very masculine, they're very alpha, right? Okay, if she's sleeping with you, that's how she perceives you. Maybe you're not, like Rhysand from like A Court of Thorn and Roses, like a literal model with wings or whatever. You might not be like, model good looks and like completely ripped and in the mafia, and you're like running, a billion-dollar company like people in these smut books are, right? Or you're like a Fey Lord or whatever. Yes, but you have a pinch of the fairy dust that makes those characters attractive. So that is what they're fantasizing about when they're having sex with you. Okay? They're like, he is that guy. You're not literally that guy, but you're enough like that guy that they're turned on. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense to you. But they don't have to fantasize about that guy because you remind them of that guy, basically. Okay? Now, do I think you should try to incorporate more kinks and more fantasies like they're doing in the smut books? Yes, okay? But how they can be attracted to you, you've got enough of that if you're in bed with them. And I don't know if guys really understand that, but that is the answer. So what do you guys think? So Himan says, also, how do you pronounce it? A Dalit? I was kind of seeing that on TikTok. So there's that. My options in India are already limited. Now, tell me more about that, because I literally just saw a TikTok about this, but I need to know more. So can you explain that more? Like, what exactly delete is and how you pronounce it. So at Yoshi says, I hooked up with someone in college. She says she's looking for a meaningful connection. What does that mean? Can I just keep doing that and do nothing else? Okay. Great question, Yoshi. All right. I like it. It's funny when you guys ask questions like this, like, what does a meaningful connection mean? But yeah, I mean, that's very female gaze speak. A meaningful connection means she doesn't want to be used for sex. So what it could mean is yes, you guys can keep having sex, but she wants to connect to you as a person, basically like a friendship. Like she wants to be treated as she wants to have some kind of friendship with you, basically. She wants to be, you know, interact with you. Like when you're in bed together, she doesn't want you to treat her like she's just nothing to you. You couldn't care less about who she is. That's what a meaningful connection means. It means just basically don't treat her like someone you could care less about. Treat her like someone who you're connecting with, even though it is just sexually, or even though it is a sexual thing. So it doesn't necessarily mean she wants a committed relationship, but I think what it definitely does mean is she doesn't appreciate being treated like, you know, what's that thing called? Fleshlight. Do you know what I'm saying? So is that hard? I don't think it is. Like, just talk to her and appreciate her as a person. So, what do you think, Yoshi? Does it make sense to you? So, no problem, Hima. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting what you're saying, so I'm not sure if my advice will really apply to your situation, but I do feel honesty is the best policy, although, however, it's not always going to get you what you want, that's for sure. Orion says, I grew up sheltered and don't really know how to build connections. Yes. Do you think you have social anxiety like I once did? Acting Brand New says, I'm unsubbing since you want to skip my comments. Classic lack of accountability by a woman. Oh, but men aren't emotional, right? And men are rational. I actually haven't even seen your comments. Acting Brand New 86. Literally, I haven't seen them. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings there. Just going down the top chat. So maybe that's what the issue. Maybe you didn't make the top chat, but sorry to see you go. Hey, it's Andrew Kane. He says, hello, Andrew Kane. Great to see you. He says, some other dating coaches say that giving compliments is unattractive on online dating. Being nonchalant is apparently supposed to score more dates. What is the nuance here? Yeah. I mean, some dating coaches, like, I've seen their scripts and they're basically trying to go for hookups, I believe. And I guess you guys are all trying to go for hookups, basically. Like, that'd be great if you got hookups, right? But they're trying to, like, basically convert people on online dating to a hookup, like, as quickly as possible. And in order to do that, they like to use, like, the negs or whatever and, like, challenges. And if you want to, like, follow those scripts and, like, try it out, you can. However, that approach is really not going to work on all types of women. However, might it work? Possibly. I'm not really sure because there's a lot of dumb women out there, basically, and men, of course, but there's a lot of dumb people out there who just, they see someone hot, he's kind of feeding them the right lines, they're horny, maybe, and they just, like, want to hook up, and then you move on. But a lot of girls are just not gonna go for that because they're not that dumb, basically, and they're not gonna fall for it. And so for all the other girls, you're gonna have to compliment them. Now, of course, you don't need to go over the top and make it seem, like, obsequious or just kind of like ridiculous. But being complimented is very fundamental part of dating etiquette and attraction. And it's a very surefire way to create attraction. But like I said, you know, I guess there's other ways as well. For example, you could just look so good that it really doesn't matter what you say. So in that sense, I guess you don't have to use compliments, right? You don't need to have dating etiquette at all. You just need to look really, really, really good. And then you can autism max, as clavicular says, right? So that's one way you don't need compliments. If you're kind of like this other guy, I forgot his name. He's this dating coach that this one of the guys I do consultations with sometimes. He sent me the scripts, and yeah, he doesn't really like compliment them. But like I said, he's trying to like convert these really young girls who really they don't know what they're doing. So it's going to work for a very niche group of people, maybe, who are very dumb, honestly. But the majority of women, they're going to expect some compliments, okay? Now, the type of compliments matters, right? You don't want to be all Shakespearean about it, as I always say. You don't want to be over the top, but just like, you look beautiful. I love your hair. You've got great style. And then, of course, ramping up as things get more heated and more intimate, more sexual, to be more, sexual compliments like, you're so fucking sexy. I want you so bad. Like, you've got an amazing body. Like, these kinds of things are very, very standard and expected. And without them, it's going to be very hard to create chemistry, in my opinion. And you're not going to be like aligning with just like dating etiquette. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Hey, I got a super chat. I'm so sorry that Jake Tucker. I just saw your super chat. I really appreciate it. He said, thanks for the tips. You rule. You are too kind. The Jake Tucker. I really appreciate you super chatting. It's very, very nice of you. And I really appreciate it. And if you have any question, the Jake Tupper, and I haven't seen it, I apologize because I don't know, the chat might be a bit out of order, but just like put it in the put it like copy and paste it again in the bottom of the chat. So yeah, what do you guys think about this so far? So let's see. Great question, Andrew, by the way. Thanks again, Jake. So Hyman says, a lot of things happen here, no doubt about it. My father had a girlfriend before his marriage too, and she's like an aunt to me now. But in general, it's conservative AF. But again, largest population. Right. Okay. King Hazy, hello. JJ Gaming says, thoughts on a married coworker showing signs she wants you, but not enough to make a move? That's a classic, isn't it? My thoughts are, focus on people who are single, okay? You're doing life on hard mode if you're focusing on somebody who's already married and trying to seduce them to cheat. Focus on single people. You'll get a lot farther. That is my opinion, okay? Is it, is there something there where you feel, hey, if I get rejected, it's not really my fault because she's married? And is it harder to just put yourself out there and get rejected by people who are single? Perhaps, right? But this is just kind of like all too common that guys are just focused on, like the married coworker or the married people. Is just let's just get you having sex with somebody who's not married, please. Commando Master, but what do you think? Commando Master says, good answer. I'll try to present the date to her in the future instead of asking. Okay, excellent. That can make a big difference, Commando. Hey, Tolis, he says, hey, Victoria, what's the psychology behind a girl you have gone out with that says she wants to be chased? Is she feeling insecure around you? Tolis, it kind of depends. Like, most girls want to be chased. So I'm not exactly sure the situation here, like what she said to you exactly. Because did she say, hey, I'm getting really sick of this. I'm a girl who needs to be chased, basically. Um, because in that, because if she said that, you're just kind of falling into one of the very common traps that a lot of guys fall into, and especially guys who are not super experienced with women, because they kind of expect more of like a 50-50 thing. Okay. And that's not really the psychology of women in dating. Like, women want to be chased. That's basic, like, female gaze psychology in dating 101. So she wants you to basically do 100% of the initiating, 100% of the pursuing, 100%, yeah, of the initiating, which I already said, but that's really important. So if you're doing 80%, if you're doing 50%, if you're doing 40%, hoping that she'll come 70% or whatever, that's very bad. And she's just going to be like, I'm waiting for a guy who will chase me. I'm waiting for a guy who will take the masculine dominant role, lead the dating interaction, and court me. That's very standard. So it's not necessarily that she's feeling insecure. She's just feeling like a basic woman, basically. So yeah. What do you think? So a life of adventure says, I don't want to ask the girl, when are you free? But often I don't ask. If I don't ask at first, there's this back and forth over and over to figure out her free day. Yeah, I get that. And it is annoying and it is kind of stupid, right? I remember that. But I do think it's better. It's better because it just shows that, hey, I'm a man with a plan. I'm going to take the lead and I'm going to present you with the plan. And if it doesn't work out, I've got this and I'm going to figure it out. So that's kind of the vibe it gives to women. It kind of shows them you're leading. Is it kind of stupid and annoying? Yes. Hey, JB Well, thank you so much for your extremely generous super chat. I really appreciate it. And it's great to see your face again. Who is that? Marcus Aurelius or someone in your profile picture, or somebody else, like some Roman dude? He says dating is basically like a sales job and you are the product. You can let the product sell itself, highest quality, or you can use parlor tricks and bondo. Yes, I completely agree. That is so true. Yes, I love that. And I was actually just thinking about something like this today, but you put this so wonderfully. You can let the product sell itself, or you can use parlor tricks. Yes, I don't even know what bondo is. I'm going to have to look that up, but that's exactly what had just the haziest notion of today. I was thinking about it. Yes. Because, like, for example, if you just truly are extremely good looking and you have like the perfect attitudes for the opposite sex that they want, the product sells itself. But let's say your looks are not that good. Will you have to use parlor tricks and whatever this bondo is? Absolutely. Will you have to like be really good at talking? We have to really understand female psychology and sell it to them and kind of like pander to them. Yeah. And yeah, but I think like letting the product sell itself has a lot to do with looks maxing, doesn't it? Or just being young and beautiful. What do you think? What do you think is, in your opinion, is letting the product sell itself? And what's the parlor tricks and bondo? Bondo, I have no idea what that is, but it's probably some sales term. But yeah, so what do you guys think letting the product sell itself is? And what are the parlor tricks in dating? I'm curious what you guys think. And thank you so much for the amazing super chat, JB. And then Roughneck Delta, thank you so much. He says, if you were running errands, saw a guy, gave him choosing signals, and he starts talking to you on the spot. Thank you so much for the second super chat. He says, if he has good game, could he get you to get coffee right away and end up making out or getting a room right after? Is that possible? Yes. Is it difficult to get coffee and then transition that to making out? A little bit, because people don't usually make out like after coffee, but if this was late at night, possibly.
Uh-oh.
My special's here.
Beardo here to cock block the stream.
Oh,
Boy, do I look fat. Holy cow.
Oh, no. Specials here.
I thought you didn't want him on.
Oh, yeah. You don't want this guy on the screen. Hi, my beauty. Okay. Well,
It's 11:45. You don't have to like stop right now.
you mean 10:45?
10:45. Yeah.
All right. Okay, I've just a few
Yeah.
more.
I mean, I'm not the one who's dashing in here.
Okay.
Justin. Yeah.
My special baby. Oh my God.
Back on stream.
Tristan needs some milk. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that.
Thank you for your super chats.
Yeah. Do you want me to ask you a question?
Only 20 likes on this stream. I think Victoria's given a lot more secret information out than is worth 20 likes. I can tell you that.
Okay. Always very supportive to me on my streams by chastising everyone about how they're not giving me money. So Roughneck Delta, to answer your question. Is it possible? Of course. It's possible, okay? Is your situation not really like perfectly ideal because it's coffee? Coffee is very businesslike, okay? Is it possible that you do coffee and then an activity and then maybe you get a drink and then you go to your place? Sure, that would be like a bit more realistic, but it's possible. This is possible. This is definitely possible. Getting a room, I mean, you would have to create some very serious chemistry or just be extremely looks maxed. Because for a woman to just like enter like a hotel room with a strange man she just met, she'd have to be a very sexually adventurous woman, very brave, or extremely horny. Because that is not something, that's something women are not only scared of, like safety-wise, but also it feels very like sex worker-like. And so a lot of women feel that's kind of like degrading and kind of like they can't handle the shame and humiliation from that. However, is it possible? Are people very horny at times? Yes. So yeah, it's possible. What do you guys think? Great question. And this actually happened to you. JB Well, he super chatted me again. Thank you so much. And thank you, Roughneck Delta, for the super chats as well. I really appreciate it. So Bondo is the filler you put in rusty vehicles to fill a hole instead of fixing it correctly. Selling someone a product with Bondo in it is selling you something that isn't what it appears. I love it. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's reminding me of one of my favorite male panderers, or as you guys probably know them, performative males on Instagram that I follow. And this guy, just obviously asked ChatGPT, what would a dom say? And it's like complete nonsense, okay? And then he's been really like working very hard on the looks maxing. So he does look pretty good now. However, a lack of confidence and insecurity is definitely like betrayed in his demeanor. So all his words are fake and his confidence is fake, but his looks are good. So it's like, yes, this Bondo filling holes because he doesn't actually know what women want. He doesn't act like women want behaviorally, but he looks good. So yeah, he isn't exactly what women actually want because they want someone who looks good, understands women, and has kind of like the behavioral elements too. But they're falling for it because, you put the Bondo in. You use ChatGPT to create the Bondo or whatever. So yes, let me give you guys his name. He's really funny. Oh yeah, I already know it. The Blake Dawson. It's pretty funny. Oh gosh, I follow so many of these performative males just for research purposes. But yeah, it's so true. And the women fall for it. So I love that concept. Thank you guys so much for super chats. I really appreciate it. Now let's go back. Okay. I'm kind of lost myself in the chat here, so I don't have much time, but hey Omar. Let me just pick a question to answer. I'm not sure. Hey Ace Flow. Okay, that's a good question, brother. How do I create a undercover love with a woman? No sex, just friendship, and have people around us not know. So you don't want sex, just friendship? Or is it like she's in a relationship? Let me know. JB says, thank you for super chat, JV. Again, so generous. He says, go find the hottest woman you can find and intentionally get friend zoned. They'll send you to their less hot friends. All right. That's a good strategy. Why not? Try it. I like it. All right. Thank you so much, JB. He adopted this tactic in high school and it worked really well. Wonderful. At Tempered Wombat says, what are performative males? Are those the pseudo intellectuals that have never actually picked up a book on philosophy? No. Well, that might be what some people, they could be performative too, right? But the performative males I call them actually male panderers, where they just lie and basically, espouse the female gaze. They just basically parrot back what women want to hear to women over thirst traps. Do you know what I'm saying? So they look good. And then whatever, like some random basic woman is posting on Facebook, they just literally copy and paste that and act like that's what they believe and that's what they feel and that's what they want to say to women. So then women see it, they're like, oh my gosh, he's hot. And we think exactly the same. And he gets me because I feel the same way. Yeah, because he copied and pasted from your Facebook or whatever. So they're just pandering to women. They're, lying about what they actually believe and pretending that they just basically are a woman internally. And this formula works magic on women who aren't too bright, to be honest, or at least don't really understand the dating game, because they think, wow, I've met the perfect man. No, he's lying to you. And he's hot. But they don't care. Then they have sex and then they think, oh, he's my soulmate, but he's not, right? So it's funny. It's funny stuff, guys. There's another one I like, but I should do like a whole series on that. So DPRK Symmetry, thank you so much for your super chat. He says, I'm friend zoned, but I want more. What should I do? We should get Beardo in because he likes to answer this one. David.
Yeah.
This guy, he's friend zoned, but he wants more. What should he do?
Did he give you a super chat?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Well, I'm coming in then.
Okay, David's going to answer.
Is that all the information we have?
Yeah, can you give us any more information about that?
I am friend zoned, but I want more. What should I do? I mean, the first answer is there are plenty of fish in the sea, buddy. Secondly, like, how long have you known this person? Like, how did the friend zone happen? Like, did you know her for a long time and you actually were friends, and then you start to secretly harbor a flame? Or did you go out on like a first date and then she's like, oh, I don't really feel it, you know, like I think of you more as a friend?
Can you give Beardo any more information? If you don't have any of that information, like what's your just like little
Well, my first instinct is
soundbite
is plenty of fish in the sea. Like go after somebody who isn't friend zoning you. But if you're like constantly getting friend zoned, then you know it's you, right? Not her. So there's this like kind of delicate balance or tightrope or something of like sexual forwardness, right? So if you're like in the office, usually like you're near the bottom of this scale. But when you're on a date, like early in the date, it's moving up. It's certainly more than like a coworker. But as the date progresses, like you got to keep moving that sexual tension or forwardness forward. You know, and you can start with really easy stuff like, you know, how beautiful she is, you know, where it's not really sexual, but you're at least indicating that you are attracted to her, you know, like you see her as valuable and sexual, you know, beautiful. And, you know, I always recommend like trying to speed things up to the point where like you can try to get that first kiss before like the end of the date. I feel like it's a really bad idea. Like leave that first date, that first kiss, like awkwardness hanging for like the very last second.
Oh, my beauty. Great advice. And He-Man, thank you so much for your super chat. He said, Dalits are outcasts in India. If you know about the Roma Gypsy people, they descend from us genetically. And the specific Dalit I am is a leather maker, Chammer. My ancestors were outcasted because we eat beef. Unbelievable, my guy. Thank you so much for educating me on that. These cases are unreal, right? Guys, I might have to go, but thank you so much, He-Man, for... I'm going to look more into that. I gotcha. Maybe your dad can answer some questions. I gotcha. Oh, my spirit. Okay, Tristy.
I don't know how to do this thing. I guess I did.
Okay, well, guys, the screen is black, but
do you have any thoughts on semen retention?
We can answer some more questions.
Classic question.
Wheels?
DPRK symmetry.
Okay, my beauty. Here's some whales, real.
I don't know if Tor, did you give any information on the friend zone thing?
No, I let you handle that.
Okay, well, Tor would go out on dates and she'd like, you know, end the date like before appetizers arrive sometimes. Because like she just wasn't getting that like, you know, that vibe or whatever, you know, like, and it's a lot more than just like looks. It's, you know, just about like how you carry yourself and like, you know, you seem like somebody who can make her feel like a woman, if you will. Do you have a video already on this? What is this? I wonder. Friend zoning or semen retention? We got.
Yeah, and they want you to talk about semen retention, Beardo.
Okay, well, I mean, does it work for you? If it works for you, go for it. Like, right? Like, certainly, like, if you're kind of have a low sex drive and you're like, you know, masturbating a lot to porn or whatever, then, you know, that could hurt you. But, you know, if you have really high sex drive, like retaining semen might land you in deep trouble. So, I don't think it has any special powers. I don't think women can like smell your semen or whatever from your ball sack and like sense that you've been retaining. But I do think it'll make you feel like more sexually aggressive and or desperate. No.
This is great. Sounds in minor says the woman I talk to frequently flirts with me and have previously worn some sort of decorative ring on her finger before, took it off, and after flirting with me last week, she put it back on. All right, guys, I have to point this out. All right, this is classic like male psychology. Like you guys are, your pattern recognition is just going into overdrive, thinking that women may be attracted to you. Like this is just a, what's it called when it's like a signal that isn't, this is just noise, not a signal, right? You know, like you've just made a pattern out of something that isn't actually a pattern. Like wearing a ring is not a way women are going to flirt with you.
I think it's even more than like the pattern recognition. I think it's like the fear. You know, it's like, I don't know if you've ever read the short story like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
No, I haven't. I know it's a movie though.
You're the literary one. You don't know that short story, but you know it's a horrible movie starring Ben Stiller. Like push things, like, you know, ask the person out or whatever, and you'll find out if she actually is attracted to you or not. You know, like when you're just like, look, I'm going to use some kind of stereotypical language here, okay? But like, you know, when you're sitting in your mom's basement, like dreaming that some girl is like interested in you, instead of like going out and you know, on dates with women who actually will go out on a date with you, then you're gonna be kind of deluded and disconnected from reality. And I don't mean to say that the questioner in particular has this going on, but that's what I see from the people that ask Victoria about this stuff all the time. Is they're just kind of like fantasizing because like they don't have any real satisfactory. They don't have any satisfactory dating experience. So, you know, like get on the app, and if you're not getting any swipes or matches or whatever, try to improve your profile or like expand, you know, like expand who you're swiping right on, you know, like if you can't go out on dates, and if you can't go out on dates, like maybe that's a sign that your standards are too high and you need to lower your standards a little bit, at least for a while, until you have some dates and you can like level up, if you will.
Great advice, Dad.
I look rough.
No. You look great. You look like a model, too.
No. I look like a model who just rolled out of bed. No. Maybe. Not even that, but thank you, Victoria.
Okay. My beauty.
No.
All right, well, we got to go, guys.
No.
Well,
the some woman who were attracted lose attraction when I like them back. Why is that?
No.
That's probably not even true. Israel, like, I don't want to be mean to you in particular, but like to a person who is asking this question or making this statement, I would say she probably wasn't actually attracted to you. She's probably being nice. She was being polite. She was being kind. And then when you like them back, or you indicate to them that you like them back, then like kind of the warning bells go off, and she's like, well, I have to stop being nice and show this guy that I don't find him attractive. And that's like, again, nothing against you or anybody else who thinks this way. Everybody has that problem. Like, you know, like a beautiful girl is walking down the street and she smiles, and like, oh, hey, you know, like, how are you? And then she just like keeps walking, like, you know, like it was free for her to smile. But then when you are like, oh, hey, can I get the digits? Then, you know, it ups the stakes. And it's like, it's not that she was like wanting to jump on your dick when she just like happened to smile at you on the street, you know, she's just being nice and polite. So I would say that for most people who think that women lose their attraction when you like them back, it's probably not true. Any thoughts?
that was a good answer. I like it. Good point. Dude. I mean, Beardo. Dude, what do you think are some good compliments to say to women on dates? Because Andrew,
Well, don't go for the obvious guy stuff. Like, wow, you have huge rack. Would be like a really bad
like
example.
I told you on the first date I ever went on, the guy was wearing a T-shirt that said "nice rack," and it was a dead deer
Oh wow,
with a decapitated deer, basically.
this guy's got 3 strikes just on the T-shirt.
Yeah, and it said "nice rack." I'm like,
Yeah.
unbelievable! This is the T-shirt you chose.
Yeah. Well, I gotta get going, but
Okay.
Compliments, like, you know, I think that like complimenting what a woman is wearing is like an easy one. Like you just say, like, oh wow, you know, like
No.
nice dress, like it's a beautiful dress or whatever. You don't even have to know anything about clothes. Like just say it's a nice outfit. I do that, or I have done that. Try to know something specific about her, possibly that, you know, she either really likes about herself or even is like insecure about, and comment on that.
Okay, my trusters. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming to my live.
I probably wouldn't get into like how skinny or fat she is
Oh wow.
right away.
Okay, that's good to know. Dude.
Right? Am I wrong?
Is that a joke?
No, I'm saying like compliments, like, oh wow, you know, like you're so thin, you're so skinny.
Don't. That would be the worst compliment of all time.
That's what I'm saying. Like a guy wouldn't know that. A guy wouldn't know like
They wouldn't know that.
saying you're thin or skinny is a bad compliment.
Are you serious?
I don't think so. A lot of guys wouldn't. I
That
don't
would
think.
be like very. That would be like. You need to go back to class.
At what moment did you know that Beardo was a serious candidate? Huh? Huh?
Okay. Hey, Jesse, we better go. I gotta go.
Girl, are you from Mississippi? Because you the only miss whose pies I'll sippy. Who's oh no piss? Who's piss? I'll sippy? Good Lord.
Disgusting. Oh my gosh. All right.
I heard this one for the first time ever. Do you have a mirror in your pocket? Have you heard this one, Tor? Do
No.
you have a mirror in your pocket?
No.
Because I can see myself in your pants.
And you're giving your advice is turned.
I'm not saying it's good, but it's funny.
Okay.
I mean, it's better than whose piss I'll sippy.
Okay. Okay, I better go.
All right. Good luck out there, guys.
Okay, bye guys.
Stay
Thank you
confident.
so
Don't
much.
worry, there's lots of fish in the stream.